Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Real Beauty Talk. And with me today, I have the lovely Susan Abraham, known as Sachs, Susan Sachs, on her Facebook page and on her Instagram. Well, I will let her tell you a little bit more about that. But I just want to say welcome, and I hope you have the most amazing day. And as usual, we're going to have a dialogue. It's not just going to be us talking, but we would love to be able to include you in what we're talking about. Hey, Marissa, how are you? I haven't seen you in many, many moons. We need to fix that. So, I am Paulla De Souza, for those of you who don't know who I am, because I always forget to introduce myself. I've been a makeup artist for over 20 somebody years. But one thing that I have noticed over the years is that I have these really amazing, very thought provoking, and heartwarming conversations with my clients. And I have been very much, not necessarily obsessed, but I'm very curious about other people's journey and how they're handling their challenges, and how they're handling the whole idea of pursuing purpose. Because a lot of times people would reach out to me from time to time, and they just feel as though, you know what, you just arrived, but they don't know about the behind the scenes. So part of the reason for me having these conversations with chosen people is to help you to understand that, hey, this thing is a journey. It's you can't get to the top without taking it step by step. There's no elevator to success. You have to go through the steps. So today with me, I have the lovely Susan. Let me bring her in. Hello, Susan.
Hi,
You look
Paula.
absolutely amazing. Welcome to Real Beauty Tour. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate that you accepted my invitation. I
Well,
feel very honored.
I am honored actually because I am dealing with the pioneer herself. I mean, the pioneer of
Oh,
beauty from Guyana. Like I always admired your humility and your the way you would just naturally bring out someone's beauty. Maybe one day you'll be able to get my makeup done. I would
oh,
love
of
to see
course.
what you
Of
do to
course.
me.
Yes, thank you so very much. I'm really honored indeed. So I want to take a quick opportunity to wish everybody who is on my side of the stream and from Susan's side on the stream, I want to wish you happy birthday if you're celebrating a birthday today. If you're not, just happy yourself, because guess
Oh,
what? Every day
cheers
is a
to
day.
you.
Yes, cheers. I'm drinking water, but every day is a day to celebrate you, because life. That's how life is. Hi, Denise. We have a lot of people here from Trinidad, overseas, Guyana. I'm seeing Marissa Cox. I remember meeting Marissa at my event in 2018. I also want to take this opportunity to say congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much. I
So
am
tell us,
so excited.
yes. So before we get into having the conversation about the award, I know everybody noticed that I have on no makeup. So the plan is for me to do my makeup while we having this conversation. So you never mind me. We're gonna have a great time, and I'm gonna do my best to keep it on an hour, because you know what happens? The time just zooms by so fast,
Yeah, it
and
does.
we have so yes, but I'm gonna try to kind of compact everything. So I want you to introduce yourself without saying what you do, and then I'm gonna have you talk about how you feel about the award and what it's all about and that kind of thing. So yeah.
Okay. So, my name is Susan Ibrahim. I'm from Guyana. I was born and raised here, and I am the mother of two amazing little girls, Aurelia and Kate.
What is the
I'm also
names?
a wife. Sorry?
What is it? What are their names?
Aurelia and Kate.
Aurelia.
Aurelia
Okay.
derived from Marcus Aurelius.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
Aurelia is the one who's a poet.
Yes, she's a poet, and Kate is the little upcoming YouTuber.
Oh, nice. So you have two
Yeah.
stars on your hand.
Well, even though she took a little, well, she's focusing because online school has been a bit difficult for her
I,
specifically. Kate.
Oh my gosh.
So we've been trying to find some alternative to help her to regain her focus, and it's
Mhm.
been challenging for the last term.
Okay.
So yeah.
And I mean, I know it's have this is gonna come up, right? But how are you handling it as a mom, dealing with two young girls who are trying their best? You're trying your best to navigate this season, and they're trying their best to navigate it. How are you dealing with that?
It's I'm not gonna say that it's easy. Nothing is ever easy.
Mhm.
Especially when you have children, whether it's they're boys or girls or whatever. I think because these are human beings separate from you, even though they came out of your womb, or whether even if they're not, and you adopted them or whatever, they are human beings on their own. So you
Yes.
have to deal with different personalities,
Mm.
and that alone is challenging. And then you have to deal with them trying to find themselves.
Yeah,
And
but
they're,
how do you manage it? Because for other mothers who are listening, I would love for you to give like one tip on how you deal with it on a daily basis, or maybe like once a week or whatever. Because I mean, I'm sure every day is not the same thing, right?
no. Some days are quiet and some days are chaotic. And on the chaotic days, I would emphasize more on, I would try to try to censor myself, because that's when I feel like erupting, like a
Mm-hmm.
volcano.
So I know you just say something interesting. So you gotta take care of you first, and then everybody else
Yeah.
after, right?
I feel like when I'm at a good place, when I feel
Mm-hmm.
happy and I'm comfortable or I feel at peace, then I can handle situations. So I try to center myself a lot when there is stuff that they're dealing with and I have to help them with it. I,
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of one thing I do regularly every morning without fail is I would take that half an hour that's quiet, and that's like
Mm-hmm.
5:45 in the morning, right? From
Mm-hmm.
5:45, I would put on some Zen music, meditation, whichever. Mostly Zen sounds, or
Mm-hmm.
nature sounds, and I would do my stuff. I'd put my coffee on. I would you just take that time to center, to feel at peace, because I know that during the day it's so unexpected. So that half an hour for me is really, really important. Trying to get up early is hard in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
so I do it nevertheless, and I try to take care of my mind, and then I take the rest of the day on.
Right. And in terms of relating to your girls when they're going through their maybe meltdowns and helping them to navigate the online schooling, what is your go-to? How do you deal with that?
Um, Most of the times, well, right now I'm dealing with something with Kate. She's been losing her focus a little bit. And instead of being upset with her, I am trying to sit in with her, trying to help her to figure out what's happening. I mean,
Right.
it's even harder now because I have work and I have so
Mm-hmm.
much going on, but then I need to pay attention to her as well.
Right.
So whenever the nanny is unavailable, I would just try to like sit in class with her to see how she's doing and see where I can help her. And after school, I would try to talk to her and find out what her challenges are and stuff if something is
Mm-hmm.
bothering
Mm-hmm.
her. She may not express that openly all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but the times that she does express it, I try to explain to her that maybe we can find a solution. She doesn't always want a solution, she just wants you to listen. And
Yes,
that's the
yes,
key.
yes.
We want you to listen.
So the key to balancing your family and your business is that you do have help.
Oh, of course. Without help, you're bound to have a breakdown.
Yes, yes, yes,
I'm not
yes. So
gonna
that's
lie, it's
how
important.
uh-huh. So that is the one advantage that you have.
Yes. But I'm not gonna say that it's always like that, because there are times when, people have their lives and
Right,
somebody can't make it to work, so you have to find an alternative and you have to figure
right,
it out. And you have to have a backup. So
right.
and you have to think fast, because let's say, for example, this morning, I had to work very early. I
Mm-hmm.
had no one to help me, so I pretty much had to get up an hour earlier than usual and
Right,
set everything up so that, they can just automatically find themselves. And I'm just
right.
grateful for that, because they're pretty independent and they have a routine. The first thing they do before they start their day or they go downstairs for breakfast is make up their beds.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Because I think as a because I mean I was a young mother at one point. My son is now 20 freaking 9. Can't believe it.
Wow.
But 29, my son is 29. So, but I remember how it was back then. And the one thing that really, really helped me a lot is that from the time he was capable, he was always independent. And it wasn't something that I had to force on him. It's like he came out just so.
Naturally.
So, and yeah, so it really does help when your children are independent. And also when you implement that character in them too and teach them how to be independent, it really does make a huge difference, especially when you have long days, simple things as them maybe learning to fix their own cereal or whatever the case is. So one advice that you could give to moms who are in your position trying to navigate the same thing, what would that be?
If you can't find help, as early as possible, try to teach your children to be a little bit independent. It starts with the smallest thing.
Yeah.
If it's just taking their clothes and putting it into the hamper, when it's
Mm.
time to wash, or making up the bed. That's what I started with Aurelia, and I learned that from a video that I saw where the soldier was saying that the one thing that you should do. I don't know if you saw it, because I've
I
shared it.
saw it.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
yes,
says
yes.
the
He's a
one thing you do.
captain.
Yeah, you start your day with making up your
Picking
bed.
up your bed.
So I
Yeah.
adopted that, and I was like, this is perfect, because when Aurelia was 4, I was like, listen, we need to teach you how to make up your bed. And
Mm-hmm.
she started doing it, and it never stopped. And now Kate has adopted it, and they would go downstairs and they would listen to Les Brown, one of her
Oh,
favorites.
nice.
Well,
Les
Aurelia
Brown is
likes
one of my
that.
favorites.
Well, that's Aurelia's, but Kate thinks that it's too noisy. She prefer Louise Hay.
Oh, Louise, she's more on the
Her
calmer
voice is
side.
soothing, yeah. So she's like, put on
Yes.
Louise Hay. But Aurelia loves Les Brown because he's a comedian.
Yes. And I love his laughter. I absolutely love his laughter.
Yes.
So let's jump into. I still want to hear, because I think I did ask you in the beginning, who is Susan Sachs outside of you being a mom, outside of you being a makeup artist?
Oh, I'm a lot. I am a bubbly, happy-go-lucky soul. I love to see people happy.
Mm-hmm.
I've always tried to bring a smile to someone's face. And there were times that I was accused of being fake, because I always try to see the positive in someone. Like, I look for the
Mm-hmm.
positive in someone and I would highlight it. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember I was 20 and someone said, "Oh, Susan is fake," because it was something that I always liked doing. I never liked making people feel bad. So I look
Right.
for, yeah. So that's one thing, and another is
Which is one thing because all I heard you talk about is other people.
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
me.
I
I'm
want you to
giving.
let this 1 minute be all about you. We don't care who say you're fake, who say what, who say. You just big up yourself in this one moment. You tell us because I mean I don't know you intimately, and I want to know everything that I can in just 1 minute. Who is this woman? Who's this awesome, fabulous woman sitting in front of me?
Okay, let's
Without
just
telling me
say.
about other people.
Okay, well, let's just say I like to be this light in everybody's life.
Yeah, you still can't help it.
Yeah, I can't help it. I like to be a light. That's all. I like to be happy. I like to be myself,
Mhm,
which is, I can be deep sometimes. I read a lot,
mhm.
and I love dancing, poetry, and I
Poetry,
enjoy.
dancing.
Sorry?
What kind of dancing? What kind of dancing?
Well, I always liked Latin music.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was part of a dance group. I don't know if my friends are looking who were part of this too, like Charlene and Maria. If you're looking, hi to you. Yeah, I always loved dancing, but as a child growing up, I didn't know to dance really well. It was like
right.
two left foot. You
We're
say?
gonna get in. We're gonna get into that. So, what's the latest book that you've read?
Oh,
Or two questions I want to ask you about books because to me, your self development journey is so important, especially in the business of serving others. And what is the one book that you've read that has really inspired you? One, or you could say maybe change your life or enhance your life. And what is one book that you're currently reading?
Right now I'm reading a poetry book by Helen, what's her last name? Helen. My sister sent it to me,
What is
and
the name of the book, if you could
uh,
remember?
it's called Wildflowers.
Wildflowers. Okay, that
Wildflowers.
sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
The book that would have like really helped me in my life, which I read a long time ago, would have been The Four Agreements. The Four Agreements.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes, I have that book. Is
I
it
like the book.
I don't remember the name. I think it's Dupac. Is it Dupac?
Yes,
Chopra?
yes, it is. I think I have it somewhere around here. I read that.
Yes, yes.
And I also read Sun Tzu, The Art of War. I love that. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Those are really great books.
I think
And what
those
is
two books were like really life changing for me.
yeah, what is the one like changing lesson that you got from the Art of War and the Four Agreements that you still use today?
Um it's learning to know when to move and when not to move. That's from Sun Tzu.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Four Agreements is always let me see. There were so many from the Four Agreement. We can get back to that one.
Uh-huh. You
But
just could share one.
let's see.
What's the
Being
first one that
able
comes
to
to mind?
the first one is being able to communicate openly.
Yeah.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
authentic about communication.
Huh?
Being authentic when it comes to your communication with others.
Right. Especially in the business that we do, right?
Yes.
Um, as we talk about communication, how important is it to be able to communicate clearly in relation to what you do as a makeup artist?
I would say between 1 and 10, a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. And the reason for that is when someone comes to sit in our chair, we don't know what they're going through. We never know.
Hmm.
And
Right.
even in general, you never know what someone is going through. And
Right.
they sit in your chair to be able to feel good about themselves.
Yes.
And if you can't treat them first of all, because treating someone is part of communication, treating
Hmm.
someone well is part of communicating. And if you can't treat them well and you can't use your kind words,
Yeah.
you know, which can go a long way, it causes a rift between you and that person sitting in your chair.
Right. Have you ever had a negative encounter?
I did. I did.
And how did you handle it? You don't have to tell me what it is. I just want to
No.
know how you
Um,
navigate dealing with somebody who's negative or difficult. Or
I
maybe
think
no,
it
not difficult
weighed
because I
me
don't think they're
down.
difficult.
It
People
weighed
are
me down.
challenge.
It weighed
Sorry?
me down. It weighed me down a lot. It made my spirit heavy.
So how do you deal with that. I mean, here's the thing, because as a makeup artist, we have to learn how to be very tactful and how to communicate and speak our truth without upsetting other people. And that is like a big challenge. But I
Even
have
if you're not
learned,
having a good day.
yeah, yeah. For me, from the time I walk into a room or from the time I leave my house, I try to make sure that nothing interferes. Because I think I spoke about this recently. There was one I had this bad, well, not a bad, a very interesting experience. I am heading to a client early morning, and as I back up into the yard, there was this there was this extra extension on the wall that I didn't see. So when I'm reversing, I'm thinking, as I look back, I'm thinking is the the leaves that is causing my senses to go off. And when I hit, I hear skirk. And I mean, you on a regular basis, or maybe somebody else, that would have upset the whole day. So I had to breathe, go in there. I said nothing because I don't want to upset anybody else in my challenge. So I was able to pull myself together, go in, do what I have to do. And it's until the end of it, then they knew that I was dealing with this challenge. So, and also there was another time when, in the beginning, because it don't happen, because I realized when you start something, it's very difficult to nip it in the bud. So as soon as the first person come, oh, I was by this person and I didn't like the makeup. And when I go home, I wash off the face, blah, blah, blah. So I said, guess what? That is not cool. I said, because you left the person giving them the impression that you were happy with
That you
what you did.
liked it.
You should have said something because I wouldn't like for you to do that to me. So before you get up or before you
Absolutely.
share, you make sure that you like what I do. And because I'm so in tune, I could I could actually pick up on somebody's vibration even before they say anything. So those are little things that I personally would have encountered along my journey, and it doesn't happen now because it's not something I engage in. And once you don't engage in something, you don't attract it. So,
I share that sentiment. I absolutely do share that because I felt that before my growth period, I felt that there was a point in time where I engaged it by
yeah,
saying, "Oh, really?" But
hmm,
now I would say, "Mm-hmm," and I move on and
right.
discuss other things.
Yes, I actually will let people know that guess what, this makes me uncomfortable, so I prefer not to talk about it.
I
So
agree.
because when you wait until somebody get comfortable, because the more comfortable that person get, is the more intimate they want to have a conversation about talking about other people.
Other persons, yeah, I agree. And
Yes.
the thing is, because you would have probably had that situation. For you, you know what it feels like because I've been in that position as well. And the funny thing is, I wouldn't say just Guyana. I'd say the entire world is pretty small, and you just never know who you'd meet. And sometimes things are hurtful.
Mhm.
So because of that, also I can understand, and I try not to indulge. And I'm so grateful that I've grown so much now that I don't have that situation ever anymore.
Guess what? I never had it, but guess what? I know
I
one thing about women. They're very malicious. I love you all, but some women, they're just very malicious and always like to involve other people in drama. So I want to talk about your award. How not how does it make you feel? Because your career, what, just about 7 years?
yeah.
Mhm. So tell me about the first time you heard about it. What was going on?
I
I
thought it
want to
was
know
a
everything.
joke. I thought when they reached out to me when I got the phone call, and that was last year when I got a phone call, I was
Mhm.
like, this is a joke, right? I didn't
Why
believe
did
it
you think it was a joke?
because I thought somebody was playing a prank on me. And I was like, that is a joke. Anyways, when I received the email, well, I gave them the information and stuff. And when I received the email, then I was like, oh, this is serious. So they asked me, so I was like, okay, Susan, calm down. You haven't won anything yet. They're just asking you for information. So
Mm-hmm.
I got all my information ready and whatever, and I sent it across to them. They responded. They said, "Okay, we received it. We'll get back to you at the earliest possible time once we have some information." And then it was until this year, then they sent me a letter stating that I was in
Okay,
the.
so it's a process that started for a while.
Yes, it was a process because I guess they had to get portfolios from all the makeup artists from the Caribbean, other
Oh, so
parts
you
of the
had to send in a
Caribbean.
portfolio for them to select from?
Yes, and your
Oh,
pictures and
okay.
stuff like that. You had to send in like professional pictures and things like that. And
Oh,
then I guess they judge among themselves.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So once I sent that in, they said they would have gotten back to me. I forgot about it until I got the email and said I made the finalists.
Oh,
And
nice.
that yeah. And then it was until I think last month. Yes,
Uh-huh.
in May, then they announced that I was the winner of the 2020 Makeup and Aesthetic Award.
Okay, so
And that's when I got so excited. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, okay, what do I do with this now? How do I act?
wow. So where were the other makeup artists from?
I think there was one from Barbados or Antigua. They didn't mention all,
Oh,
but
okay. So there were other Caribbean makeup
yeah,
artists as well.
and they just, yeah, yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's soaking now then.
What pen are you using? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. What pen, eyeliner pen are you
Well,
using there?
actually, this was a gift from Sasha, Liquid Precision Liner, and I absolutely love the fact that it's like
It
super
looks
jet
good,
black.
yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I wish it was matte. It have a little bit
Oh,
of a shine that could be not so good if you're doing stuff for television, or
oh,
for photography. Because when you have a product that has shine in it, it attracts light. And as we're talking about color, Sherry, who's based in Antigua, she's asking about the color of your lipstick that you're wearing.
oh, I mixed my colors. I used Maybelline, and that was in chocolate, and I mixed it with Glam Light. Was it Cupcake Red?
Oh, it's very pretty. It bubble
Yeah,
along really nicely to a thing. So yeah, I've been really liking it too because it's nice and smooth, and I just want a nice little conservative line. Because my thing is about redefining beauty. I like the idea of using less, because there are so many makeup artists who are more or less misguided because a lot of the people who they learn from YouTube. So they haven't really learned the art of makeup. So everybody, in my opinion, they're just using too much product. And I wish I could tell everybody, you know what? Just use quarter the amount that you're using.
yeah,
You
and
know?
that's something that I've learned too along the way. And recently, what you would have said and mentioned time and time again on your page, and what I would have read that you would have written and stuff like that. Bare Minerals believe in that. They believe in less, but
Yes.
in clean beauty.
Clean
And
beauty.
I've learned so much over the past year from them.
Mhm.
How to do things in a simpler, more enhancing way.
Exactly. And you know what? I remember you and I had this conversation some time ago. We had the same conversation. And I remember you were saying to me, you told me that when it comes to beauty makeup, that it's your preference, but the clients don't want that. So here was when I thought about it because it came up again today. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have so much potential. And I would love to help you fine tune your skill set. When a patient goes to a surgeon, they don't dictate how that surgeon must do his operation, do they?
That's true.
Do they? Great.
No, that's
So if
true.
we are the professionals in this thing and we want to be able to give people a different perspective, then we have to set the pace.
But I'm
I've
not
been
gonna
doing.
lie though. I agree with you on that. I'm not gonna lie. They're actually, well, majority of my clients, they like when they just are enhanced, nothing too major. Like
Right.
just a tad bit of foundation. They want their freckles to show,
Mm-hmm.
their eyebrows not too shaped. They want it look to look as natural as possible, even with
Right.
its natural shape, even if it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing and things like that. They like that because they feel a lot more comfortable
Yes. I refer
being.
to it as overstructured eyebrows. You
Yes, well,
don't
I
want
have that right there.
overstructured eyebrows. You want eyebrows that are just because my it this gonna shove us right into my next question for you. What is it that I mean? You started your makeup journey 7 years ago, and you started in dancing.
Hmm.
Because I think when I read your bio, you said your first introduction to makeup was doing
Was
makeup
true dancing.
backstage for dancing. But as you know, as you would have grown, you would realize that you would have recognized that stage makeup is
It's
different
different.
from beauty. When it comes to beauty, is a whole different approach. Along the way, who are some of the makeup artists that inspire your journey, and also what aspect of makeup artistry has been inspiring for you?
Okay, so I always loved Kevin Aquan.
Ah,
Always
actually, I have
loved
my
him.
laptop right now on the art of makeup. I have all his books.
I love Kevin Aquan, and when I first got my hands on one of his book, it was in Trinidad. Someone
Which
in
one did you get? Face forward,
no, the first edition. I think it was the one with the there
making
was it
faces.
Making Faces.
Right,
Was
because
that the
it's
first
three.
one?
The first, no, the first one is the art of makeup, and then they were making faces and face forward.
Well, Making Faces was the one that I got my hands on, and there were all these
Is I mean,
iconic
let me just see.
women.
On the cover of Making Faces is two a white and a black model in the same
Yes,
face.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
And there were lots of iconic women within that series,
Yes.
and it
Yes.
was like there were women like Madonna. I mean,
Yes.
there were women like Cindy Crawford and Naomi Campbell and all these women, beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous women, and he just made them look like the just simply doing lifting the brows by brushing it up and just
Yes.
taking the brush and stroking that color up with the eyeshadow,
Mm-hmm.
lifted the
Mm-hmm.
eyes and made them look fierce, and that one color of that bronze, and that was what I fell in love with.
Right.
That's
And then here's the other thing that I love about Kevin's work too, or even back in the day before there was social media, where now most makeup artists don't even know the distinction between a makeup artist and a social media influencer. And one of the things that they were very into, and I mean it still is lightening up the eyebrows.
yeah, yeah,
No black, dark eyebrows. Everything was nice
yeah.
and soft and just amazingly defined.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
where I try to bring both the Instagram brow with Kevin Aquan's technique. And I think I
Mhm.
was able to get a place where it looks like it's super neat and everything and drawn on, but then when you look at it in person, you can see the brows, you can see the hairs, and it looks natural. So that
Right.
was my thing that I tried to bring together with what I would have learned via theory and from reading and observing other mistakes and stuff. But also as a dancer, let me tell you, I used eye pencil to do my brows,
Hmm.
the
Well,
black
I
eye
mean, dancing
pencil.
is different because you're on stage. You want your
No, but
brows to be as
listen,
dark.
it was like
Uh-huh.
one thing, one stroke hair. And I used the same eye pencil and I did an eyeliner, and the eyeliner used to come till here and it was fat. It was never defined, and precise. You see what you did there with that pen? It was never like that. It was like one thing with that pencil. It was just fat and was right there. And I just looked
Well, you
like
don't do it like
a
that
big mess.
anymore. Because here's the thing about when I teach about makeup, I believe that understanding the art of makeup is the key to be able to be diverse in your technique. Because I like to see when I look at a makeup artist, she keeps me interested in her work. If I go through her page and I can see diversity. everybody, makeup is not a one size fit all, right? And a lot of makeup artists don't understand that
Oh, speaking of which, I wanted
liners,
to show you this. I wanted to give you an
liners shape,
example of.
liners shape the eye and help to kind of create definition. So if you don't understand what you're doing with an eyeliner pencil, you are going to be in a hot mess, bottom line. So, hi, ladies on the outside. Hi, Samantha. Thank you for popping in. Um, hi, Sonia. It's good
Okay,
to
so I
have
want
you
to
on the
show
other
you
side.
this. So this is one a particular client. I hope she's not mad at me for doing this. Okay, so this is her makeup. She generally doesn't
I,
like.
I can see it, you know.
Okay, okay, there you go. So I'll share it with you later. She generally
Right.
doesn't like a lot of makeup. She just likes her lip to pop and a little bit of eyeliner, and her
Hmm.
brows to just look pretty much the same. So like
Right.
I really do try to give them, because some people are not comfortable with a full coverage face because they're walking
Right.
out of the day with it, and then they don't want to look like you can scrape the makeup off their faces,
Right.
and that's
So, one of these days, when, well, right now we've been on lockdown for a year and change. Y'all in Guyana, so lucky that y'all can move around and do your stuff, but we can't do that yet. So you and I are gonna have a date. So whenever I'm coming, I'm gonna make sure you know. So you could organize to spend a day with me and
of
let's
course.
fine tune your artistry because you could go places. Do you ever dream of seeing your work internationally?
Course, every day. That's like the biggest vision ever. And
Yes.
manifested.
But here's the thing, you know you have to change. You know you'll have a lot of work to do, right?
I
When
am
you look at
willing. I mean, I have put in my hours. I've put in so much. I've made so many sacrifices. Why stop now?
right, but here's
That's my
the
policy.
one thing. The one thing that I want to get at, where that is concerned, I hope I'm not being presumptuous, but when you look at magazines, because I have had the privilege of managing makeup teams for international work, right?
Hmm.
And I can tell you, a lot of makeup artists. This is not me dissing anybody. They
No, no, no.
have they have their they're all about
Potential.
hype. They're all about hype. They have 10 million followers on Instagram and social media, whatever, but they don't have technique. They could only do one style of makeup. So it usually is very frustrating for me because I have worked on all sides. And when it comes to international, when it comes to fashion and editorial, y'all are using way too much product. Way too much. And I always have to be teaching while I'm trying to get them to do what they're supposed to do. Because at the end of the day, if I am the makeup head for the department, I gotta
Hmm.
make sure the shit is on point. And the other
Right.
thing is that a lot of young makeup artists, they're so arrogant. They don't like if I'm gonna have because I try to do like a session before. Oh, we've been doing makeup for so long, we know what we're doing, but they don't understand it. So
Right.
it's a
And
huge
this is
difference and it's a
where
different approach, you know? So, like, wait a minute, do they watch magazines? Do they pick up magazines? I mean, when I say you guys, I don't mean you,
I
but
understand.
do they look at like music videos or film? Because makeup is so different in film.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, who are some of the makeup artists that they follow on YouTube or
Well,
Instagram? Do they understand there's a difference?
one of my experience that I've had was in 2019 when I had to work with a company here, a major company, and they had some international photographers and directors come in, and they had
Yeah.
to get a local makeup artist, and I was one of that
Hey,
person.
lashes is really make a difference, eh?
Oh, it does.
Yeah, continue. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So they had to get a local makeup artist, and I learned so much for that week because I
Mm-hmm.
remember the director was like, "Oh, that's too much makeup, Suzanne. You need to go down a little bit more." And he was like telling me how to do it. And then eventually, when I looked at my work, I was like, "This is not how I usually do it." But
Right.
then after like that first day of him constantly saying, Susan, too much, Susan, share this off, Susan, do that. The second day, the third day, I was good. He did not even
Yes.
have to say anything else because the thing is, I came home and I looked and I wrote down all my mistakes and I said, okay, this is where I'm going wrong. This is what they want. This is what the client want
Right.
because this is going on magazine. This is going on, and it's an international platform. So I need to
Right.
get my game up. And that's when I wrote down my mistakes and I corrected it,
Mhm.
and I was able to give them exactly what they want. And I was not able to finish the project with them because my mom had died during that time.
Yes, I
And
remember.
I mean, as much as it was a fantastic opportunity for me, um, it was um, it was a sad moment, but I learned so much then, and it's just memorable because yeah, I can totally relate to what you're saying. So this is where
Right.
communication is important.
Exactly. And then learning to make sure you bring your skill set at a diverse level, because when another situation comes by, that photographer or whoever you were dealing with was very kind to you, because in another situation it'll tell them find another makeup artist, or it'll probably fly somebody in. That's how they are. They don't have the
Well, that's
patience.
what he said. That's what he had mentioned. He's like, Susan, don't feel bad. This is just work. It's just business. And
Right.
if you
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. To me, that's why I'm so passionate, because I mean I always teach about it, and some people may be offended, but I am so passionate about helping, because I know. And here's one of the things too, because I know you mentioned that you're self-taught, right? And a lot of other makeup artists also would be bragging about them being self-taught. And when I think about my journey, I also started off
no,
as
well,
a
I didn't.
no,
Yeah,
no, let
well,
me
not to
finish.
cut you. Even though I say that, mhm,
Mhm. So there's a point I'm
yes,
trying to make. So don't jump in yet. So here's my observation about the whole self-taught journey. I did not choose to become a makeup
okay,
artist. Makeup chose me. I went to class to do 8 sessions on myself. I was told that I had a natural flair. But here's the advantage that I had at that time. I work alongside two working makeup artists. So I had that mentorship alongside me when I was going through my journey. I had the Kevin Aquan, and trust me, I drink in everything. When it comes to mastering the art of brow shaping, guess how I get it? Going through Kevin's book, I think it's in one of those books. He has like a diagram that shows
yeah,
how to take out the hair.
I still use
And
it.
I get my aha moment from that. I said, oh, snaps, your eyebrow hairs go one behind the other. And if you pull out it right here, because back then it was tweezing, you could get a nice straight line without. And then my other experience, international experience, was working alongside Tara Banks' makeup artist at Barbados
Hmm.
Fashion Week.
Hmm.
So for me, and then when I eventually invested in international editorial masterclasses, I saw the difference. I mean, it helped me to fine tune my technique, and it really helped me to understand why I was doing what I'm doing. So I was able to develop the art of makeup and understand, and guess what, in different situations require different. So when I choose to specialize in bridal and beauty, I had the foundation. So what the point that I was making is being self-taught and not understanding the difference between going with a working makeup artist who have experience in fashion, film, bridal, as opposed to a makeup artist who's just a beauty influencer and have 10 million followers on Facebook. You get what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I
Right. So what
completely
it was,
understand you.
yeah, I wanted this thing dry. So talk to me.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I learned to do. I pretty much had that book.
Uh-huh.
And the diagram that you were speaking of, I still use it to this day. I still actually use a ruler and stuff like that. And I noticed there was one of my instructor who actually used the same diagram, and I thought, wow, this
Really?
is
Wow.
fantastic. Yeah. So I when I realized that I needed to learn more, I needed to know more in depth about what I was getting myself into, that's when I
Mm-hmm.
decided, listen, I'm going to do some more research. I'm going to go to the best to become where I want to get to the goal that I want to be at.
Right.
So when I started reaching out to other makeup artists and doing my theory and everything, it was just to make sure that I know as much as possible. And that's why when you were saying that you were coming here and you were holding that seminar that one time, was it in 2018?
Yes, yes. But you didn't actually get a chance to do like a one-on-one with
No,
me.
I didn't get a chance to do a one-on-one, but it was still quite interesting to see what you would have done. And
Mm-hmm.
like I learned from there. I Whatever I got from that, I took it and store it, because
Right.
I know that I would need it at some point in time. And you always do need information, whether it's from somebody who does influencer makeup, or
Mm-hmm.
like yourself who does, editorial, bridal, and
Right.
stuff like that. You still need information. You need as much as possible so that you can be diverse. And that's my thing.
Exactly. But my point of thing is not that I'm hitting on the social media influencers. I just have a problem with the fact that people generally don't understand that there is a difference. And when you look at a lot of makeup artists, their work is you don't see a distinct difference between this style and that style. Makeup is like a one size fit all. Everybody just look the same. So that's my pet peeve where that is concerned. And I stay in my corner and I do what I have to do. Who wants to level up, then level up, and who ain't ready to level up, they can just get left behind. Because bottom
I
line
agree
is
with you.
this world is a big backyard,
Oh yeah.
right? And a lot of opportunities are gonna come our way if we're prepared. And if we're not prepared, then we will get left behind. So it's the best thing that you, if I have to advise anybody, the best thing you could do for your artistry is to learn and apply different techniques to different situations. Start introducing your clients to the fact that, guess what, I am the expert. Because it's not that you'll be a bully, right? Because if I have a client that comes to me with a picture from Instagram or whatever, I will explain to them. I will do what I do, and I will make sure that I get it as close as, but I will also explain to them, guess what? Your features are different. Your skin is different. And most of what you see here is not real. It's photoshopped. Because from a perspective of as a beauty advisor, I have had people who come to the store and asking for foundation that's going to make the skin look smooth, and have to explain to them, guess what? This is not how this works.
Starts with
You have
skin
to
first.
get involved in a really good skincare routine. And this stuff is just one swipe of a smooth button from up to down, and anybody's skin could look like this. So it's amazing. So as you guys know by now, I'm really, really big on skincare. So how is that working in Guyana? Are women? I mean, now more women wearing makeup. Are
Well,
they
I
really
think
into skincare now?
the truth is, a lot of Guyanese women do like to do a lot of skincare, because I've seen that. I mean, most of the women that, I don't know if it's because I'm dealing with a lot of women that takes care of their skin, but I know
Mhm.
majority of them are all about making sure that they have a good routine,
Right.
a nighttime and morning time routine. So I must commend the women that really like put themselves out there and say, listen, my skin comes first. And when they do decide to put on makeup, they come and they say, hey, Susan, this
It's
is
just
what I
icing on the cake.
Yes. And the makeup just glides on and it just looks so beautiful. Just like,
Oh my
it's just
God. And it make you
effortless.
feel, it big you up, eh? Because
Yeah, it
guess
makes
what?
you
One of
feel
my
so
mentors
good.
told me, she says, remember, you're a makeup artist and not a magician.
clients as like, especially when they're absolutely gorgeous and they're questioning themselves, I'd be like, listen, and they're like, Susan, you sure Susan is doing a magic over here? And I'd be like, no, 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 no. I
Yeah.
don't have a magic wand. I have makeup brushes. I'm just enhancing what's already there. Because a lot there we have so many gorgeous women here. Like absolutely
Oh,
stunning. I can't
yes.
tell you. And they don't need a lot of work. They don't need the whole shebang. Like for me,
Yes.
I personally enjoy putting on colors and doing all the vibrant, you know, colors of the rainbow. It's my personality, you
Yeah.
know. While
Yes, that
most of
that
my
is so 90s.
yeah, and I love it. I love that
Wow.
retro feel. I'm more like the boho type, and
Right,
my
right, right.
clients, yeah, my clients would come and they'd be like, Susan, I don't want a lot of makeup. Just do something. Just do something simple. Even the
Right.
lashes are sometimes too much for some of them, and
Yes.
I mean I respect that. So to those of you who are always bullying me, take
I
off the
have a
lashes.
I have a video that I did that I talked about recently about eyelashes and the fact that influencers create this whole thing of first time you see the person is look like if they want to choke your eyes with them lashes.
Look at mine. Look at mine.
Huh?
I said, look at
Yeah.
mine.
Yes, I mean, listen to me. Your face could carry that.
I love it.
Your
I
face
do
could
love
carry
it.
the drama, but not everybody.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
exactly.
these
That's so
lashes are
true.
very dramatic too, but because of my facial shape and everything, I could get away with it, you know.
Exactly.
So I know the time is gonna run away real quick, so I want to get a couple more questions in because we could stay on the topic of makeup forever. Let's see if we have any more comments in the questions. Sherry said thank you for the information about the lip color. Don't know if Marissa is still here. If he's still here, say hey. Samantha said, what a collaboration. I've been waiting for this. Excellent conversation. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you,
Um,
Samantha.
and Gloria's comment is, I love that makeup is not a one size fit all. Yeah, that's my recent thing. I'm coining that term. Um, Yeah, make makeup look so simple because it really is. It's not all that fuss. It really is
No, it
simple,
is. It
because
is. It is.
yeah,
That's
it
so true.
is. And Denise says, do you have to use different makeup brushes to apply your makeup? Well, yes or no. It all depends on
Not
what you really
individual.
want.
Yeah.
Because if you are paying attention from the beginning, most of the makeup that I put on went on my fingers. It also depends on the texture of the product that you're using. And I like to use my brushes because even after I use my fingers, I would incorporate my brushes because it helps to kind of pull and fuse everything together. Hi, Jody. Jody's a makeup. It's a great makeup artist from. She's based in Tobago. She's one of the
Hi,
few.
Jody.
She's one of the few makeup artists that I could close my eyes and send a client to because we did some of the same master classes, and her work is really on the international, out there on the platform at the international level.
I can't wait for you to
Merlin.
say that about me. Oh, I'm excited.
Don't worry, you're soon getting it. Melinda Lewis, I guess, just from Guyana. Two beautiful
Hi,
women. Paula De
Melly.
True.
Those are my
In
friends.
this. Hi, Melinda. Yes. So let's get to one other thing because I am still, I wouldn't say struggling, but I have not put any emphasis into the whole social media aspect of it. Do you have an appointment?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay, great. So because it's likely that we will go over the hour, just letting you know. But I'm gonna try to
That's
keep it
fine. As
as
long as
close.
we have wine, I'm good.
Okay, great. So my other question is, how has social media influenced you in your journey, and what is one tip that you could give somebody like me who is still not? Because I think I started my Instagram about, if I'm not sure, 5 years, and I'm kind of growing it organically, and I only have about 1,400 followers
It takes time. Honestly, it takes time.
from 2015.
No, it
And
does. It
I
does.
get a lot of compliments from people, I guess maybe people who are looking for whatever. and they will always comment on how my feed is so interesting, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, but
but tell
Paula,
me about your.
you're on your journey of moving of that number because of exactly what you're doing here. This entire chat that we're having, as simple as it may be, you may
Mhm.
have gained a few more followers because people love these sort of content. They love information, and they
Right.
like to know that there are other people who are collaborating, especially
Mhm.
the fact that you're living in Trinidad now and you're
Mhm.
Guyanese and you're reaching out to your Guyanese community and you're collaborating with them on this platform and stuff like that. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a big plus for you. And also,
Really,
yeah,
I
give
never
the
saw it like
information.
that.
No, it is. It's a big it's a huge step for your social media accounts.
Somebody told me the last time that I was in Guyana. He said, "Imagine you was the first makeup artist in Guyana. Before makeup was a thing, I was
That's
it."
true. I remember I was still in school and you
But
were doing someone's makeup and I was like, look, I was dancing then and I was looking at you like, wow, I wish I could do that.
seriously,
So I took my black eye pencil, I did my brow and I did my eyeliner.
was that nice to you?
Oh yeah, you were. You said hi.
Uh,
You're very pretty. I remember those words. She's like,
seriously.
you're very pretty. And then you said, I
Well,
like your hair.
yeah, because you know what, in things I always am very conscious of. I don't know when it started to happen, but I realized that you see when you meet people casually today, you don't know them from Adam. But fast forward to 10 years, when maybe your path might make a full circle, how you would have treated them or how you would have interacted with them 10 years prior before you even was conscious of who they were, it would have made a
Exactly.
huge difference. So
Impact.
I
Yeah,
am
because
very grateful.
you were very nice and then you were like, I like your hair because well, my hair wasn't tamed or anything. It was just like dry and big and it was like I didn't know what to do with it. So it was just out there. And you
Right.
said your hair is beautiful and you're very pretty. And
Seriously,
I was like, okay,
I don't even remember, but I'm happy that you have a positive memory of me. So
I
yes, so
do.
tell me about the social media thingy. How does
Yeah.
that work and how has it
So
influenced your journey?
social media is I think it's essential,
Yeah.
especially in this time now that we're on the lockdown. Most of the world is on the lockdown. There's so much going on and you can make a
Mhm.
positive impact on social media. So I
Right.
think that when you use it for good.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I found worked was being able to share a positive. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's positive and you just share that on your page,
Right.
people people react. And guess what?
Right.
They want more. So they
Mm-hmm.
come back for more. Or they start following you because they
Right.
want what you share. And then eventually you incorporate, let's say you do a quote today and then tomorrow, all right, I'm gonna do a quote and I'm gonna share, let's say you're a doctor, I'm gonna share something about the lungs and I'm going to share something positive again and then share something else about um, plastic surgery, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you incorporate things that people want, but you'll be able to see it once you start doing it. I can't really
Right.
explain it to you. And also
Okay.
tagging persons, like the way you did with mine, for example. Like we had this that we are having this chat here, and before that, you decided that
Mm-hmm.
okay, Susan poses, and I tag you. Now somebody else
Mm-hmm.
is gonna want this because you're in Trinidad. They may want somebody, they may want companies or someone in Trinidad to see them or
Right.
to notice them. So they'll be like, listen, I need you here. So I'm going to follow her and see what she's about. And maybe
Right.
she can get me on our platform. So those are little things. So this is what you're doing. You're already on the path. You just have to be consistent. It's all about
Right.
consistency.
So you know what? I always used to thought tagging people and stuff was like bothering them because I remember I think it happened to me one time where I posted something on a public space and the person boofed me. I got a negative thing. So after that, And then also, I had this experience, I think it was last year. I had a very negative experience. And I shared the experience just to warn other women. I think you would have probably seen it where there was this weirdo guy who was harassing women around the place, you know. And I shared it and I was trying to really
Highlight.
alert other women that this is what is happening. And there was a negative comment about it. It's like, oh, she's only there talking about herself and something, but now that she finds herself in problems, don't she want to tag other people? So I'm like, okay, if that's somebody's mindset towards something that could help other people, then how are they gonna feel about me trying to promote something in a positive way? So I only tag people who would interact with me on a maybe like a consistent basis.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I very rarely tag. So
Well, that's fine.
the key to the whole thing is really tagging. And what's the other thing somebody had told me about recently? When you tag and what's the other thing? Hashtags.
Hashtags, yeah. Hashtags are huge and using trending hashtags. And you got to be careful also with a hashtag because sometimes Instagram can block you
Mm-hmm.
depending on what kind of hashtag you use because there
Mm-hmm.
are some of them that are blocked.
I wash my
Yeah.
hair, so it's still kind of wet.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
why I'm fighting with it right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
you got to know what kind of hashtag. You got to look at what's trending, and you can Google that. That's easily accessible.
right.
Um, and another thing is, like you said, tagging people you feel like it's a bother. Then if you don't tag them, then what you do is just find information that you feel represent you. Like say for example, I
Mm-hmm.
love motivational quotes. I do love like my spiritual journey and things like that. You know,
Right.
I like to share that. So I usually share that, but I'm not asking anybody to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just sharing it
Right.
with them. And there's some people who'd be like, yes, Susan, I actually like that. So they
Mm-hmm.
would, you know, follow me just because of that. And then they would message like,
Right.
hey, Susan, can you share more of this for me? I can, it's totally relatable and things like that.
Right. Well, I usually don't get. I mean, I am doing my thing, and whatever, wherever it goes, it goes. You know. So that's my general approach. I don't really stress about it too much, and I'm really doing my. And now that this whole pandemic kind of caused everything to slow down, it puts me in a space where I have the time now. Before it was kind of really busy, and you didn't feel the need for it. But now it's like, guess what? You need to figure out this thing. You really
I
need
just think
to.
it's consistency. As long as you're
Yeah.
consistent with your poise and exactly what you're doing here, if you're consistent with it, you will
I've been
definitely
doing
get.
this for a year. Well, July, I think July
And it just takes
15th.
one video to give you that breakthrough.
July 15th has been a year since I've been doing it. But what I'm going to do after the year is done, because I've been streaming directly from my page, from my personal page, and I have other public pages. I have one page I have over 11,000 followers. I'm gonna just go over to the public pages. And if the private people want to follow me over there, because guess what? I find myself begging people to even share the posts.
No,
I will
don't.
sit here
Don't.
and I give,
Don't.
don't want to say begging, I don't mean like on my knees begging, but I'm encouraging you. Guess
Yeah.
what? If this is inspiring you, share it on your page. Share, 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 share.
Mhm.
Do you know the guy MJ?
MJ.
MJ, what's his last name? Anybody out there who follows MJ, help me with his name. But he is this guy. He's into financial and marketing and stuff, and he has this thing. And he will come onto live and he said, "Come on, y'all, share, share, share. Don't be selfish with this information. This is not just for you. Share this with a friend, blah blah blah." So he would give this story, and every 5 minutes he would stop to say, "Hey, go ahead and share this post. Share it with a friend. Get somebody here." Da, 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 da. You know, and it's just been so interesting to see how. But you know what I notice, when you're sharing something like this, it doesn't attract as much attention as if we were sitting here gossiping and bad talking other people and in bacchanal.
But you know what? I look at it as this. You put the information out there, people are going to see that,
Paris.
and they're
Somebody
going
said MJ is hilarious. Yes, everybody talks of everybody's telling me about MJ Harris. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I
Sorry.
think when you like you just share the information, forget about who's sharing it, who's resharing, who is reposting, whatever. You just put the
Girl.
information out there. Somebody's gonna notice it, and now one person is
Mm-hmm.
going to say, "Hey, this is something that I want to get my hands on."
Let me
You know,
tell you,
it's just about consistency.
if I was depending on other people to share my stuff to continue doing what I'm doing, I would have stopped a long time ago.
I
But
agree.
yeah, I'm still here. I'm still doing my thing. And I know that we're kind of getting down to the time. We're over time already, but I'm just going to get into a couple more things here. What are you most grateful for?
On top of my list would be, and recently it has become even more important, the fact that I'm alive every single day, waking up
Mm,
to see my family. And I pray every day that when I go to bed, I wake up in one piece and I can see my kids grow up. That's all. That's what I'm grateful for. And then my family. Life
yeah.
is important, and we take it for granted. When I lost my mom in 2019,
Mm,
there were so many things that I realized I took for granted.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I took a lot of things for granted, and the moment I realized she was gone and this was it, and I was never going to see her again, I started taking a different approach to life.
Yes, you have to live every day to the max, huh?
I took a different approach, and I am so happy that I took that approach, because now that I've been taking that approach, there are so many other possibilities, and I feel like there's so many things that is still, left for me to do, and I am eager to do it. I'm eager to learn, and I'm just open to advice and anything that people have to share with me. I'm always there listening, hey, grab me
Right.
this information,
Hmm.
because I can pass this on to my children.
Yes, because one of the things that losing a loved one has really um, placed a dent in my psyche is every day you present the best version of yourself. And it doesn't, the best version of yourself don't always have to be this. Because I will sit here some days without no makeup and feeling like crap. But this is in that moment, that's the best version of myself. But when I say the best version of yourself, it's like, I think the one solid thing that is really that is like almost evident in everything. Treat people the way how you would want to be treated, and that's all it takes.
I
It
agree.
is it is that simple. So, what's one of the life changing lessons, or like I would say life enhancing lessons that you've learned so far?
um Let me see. There were so many. One of the things that I would have learned was to appreciate the people that are around you,
Mm-hmm.
especially the ones that support you, the people that they're not always there, but when they clap for you, they clap for you. When they're there for you,
Right.
they're there for you. You don't have to speak to this person every single day,
Mm-hmm.
but they celebrate you, and you appreciate them, celebrate them as well. And I've learned to do that over the past couple of years. Celebrate others, because when you celebrate them, you're opening the doors for your turn.
Yes, 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 yes. And what is one of the challenges that you're still conquering?
um
One person. Okay, here, let me make it easy for you. List one personal and one as it relates to the business of makeup artistry.
Personal would be being able to manage being a mom,
Mm-hmm.
and you sometimes have to make sacrifices, whether
Yes.
it's doing mommy duties or taking a client and doing, and a lot of times there are times when there is something important and it means a lot to a client, that you have to sacrifice your time with your kids, especially on weekends, to meet
Mm-hmm.
with this client. And it's
Mm-hmm.
very hard to see,
Yes.
hey, to say, hey, girls, today mommy can't be with you because mommy has an important job to do, because this is happening for this person. and I need to be there for them. They need to get their makeup done. And then, you hear them saying sometimes, Mom, you worked last Sunday. Why can't you be with us this Sunday?
Wow.
That,
So I'm gonna tell you this from my perspective because I was a mom too. Sacrificing family, I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty, but sacrificing family is not always the best thing to do because guess what? My son is 29 and that happens so fast. So
I know.
you have to have that balance between work and family because before you
Exactly.
know it, and let
They're
me tell you
over
something about women. This is something that I've learned from my mentor. And when I was with her, she was already in her probably close to 70. And she said to me, if you do not set very clear boundaries, clients are going to take advantage of you. So you have to be able, because I've had people who wanted me to be at their place for 4 a.m. in the morning. And here's the thing about it, they're not paying extra because they want to go on a flight and be looking chic. I supposed to be out at that time. So and then the thing about it is they respect you even more when you set those kinds of boundaries. Hey, you know what? Sundays are for my girls. There's always going to be enough. So if there's one advice that I could share with you, um, when you get to that place where you're comfortable, family first, you know,
I,
because
I've
at the
I've
end of the
come
day,
to I've come to that point. I think I've gotten to that point where I am starting to, especially since Kate has been struggling a little bit with online school,
mhm,
and I'm sharing this openly because I know there are other women out there that can share this same scenario because some of them may have kids, and not all children are the same. While my older daughter would have been, it was easy a breeze with her. My
right,
younger daughter is struggling because of whatever reason. So I'm learning to navigate and trying to balance it out. And
yes,
what was the other question? That was personal. Professionally,
and professional, yeah.
professionally would be the fact that while I would, I don't know how, I don't want to put this in a way where I make anyone feel bad, but
Think about you first, honey. This
yeah.
is your thing. It's not somebody else's thing.
Yeah, while I would admire other people and comment, make positive comment on their work and speak highly of them and stuff like that, it's not necessarily the same in return. And
Right,
while I would not indulge in certain things on my makeup chair, it would not be the same in return. So
right.
you would often have people trying to fill you up with negativity, and that's something that I don't like. But I've been trying to like shove that and say, like I told you, I haven't had it recently, but before I
Mhm,
knew and before I grew into this woman that I am now, people
mhm,
would have done it, but they don't do that anymore. And I stay away from persons who would try to indulge in any negative conversation about anyone. And
right.
I'm saying this very clearly now. I would not, because there's so much going on. There's so much to do in my life, and there's no time for anything negative.
Right.
And I just want to focus on getting to a goal, taking care of my family, and making sure that everybody's safe and I'm happy and at peace. And I don't have
Mhm.
any bad karma coming my way after now, you know?
Yes,
That's
yes,
all
yes.
I'm focused on.
So I don't pay no attention to the haters. Maybe they're out there, maybe they are not. I don't care. I don't know.
Well, I've
So
had
I just
personal
focus.
attacks. I've had phone calls. There was a situation. I'll give you an example. There was one time I had to do a bride, and there was a situation. I was very sick that day. I showed up there, even though I was sick, and
Mhm.
I had to be hospitalized after that. Nobody called to find out if I was okay or whatever. But next
Mhm.
day, a best friend of this bride calls me, tear off on me without even saying anything, and she made it, she went and she said it to a lot of persons, and how unhappy she was about what I did and things, but she never asked why I did it,
Yeah.
why it happened. And I was hospitalized for like 3 days or 2 days or something like that, after that situation. I wanted to reach out to them and say, you know what, I was sorry. I should not have taken the job. That was my fault because I knew I was ill. but it happened. Things
Mhm.
happen. However,
Mhm.
the situation just escalated, but it was not like a public something. Oh, I felt
Yes.
bad up to this day that, this was something that, but you grow, you learn, and now I know better. I would not perpetuate that situation ever again. If I'm sick, I'm getting somebody, I'm referring one of my colleagues and saying, hey, I can't make it, I'm really ill. I need you to cover for me. And that's the beauty of having networking in our industry here. We have a
Right.
good network system, I must say, and I must commend the Guyanese makeup artists in this country. We're all busy, we all have our own lives and stuff like that, but we have a good network system where once we communicate and we call and say, hey, listen, can you do this for me? Well, and you communicate with the client and say, hey, do you think you'd be comfortable working with this person? If the client approve,
Mhm.
then it's set and we're good to go. So that's one
That
of
is
the plus.
That is awesome. That is really awesome. And I mean, I guess your experience is generally across the board because a lot of people would make comments and they air out, as we were saying, Guyana, they like to air out the mouth about things they don't know and they don't have all the information. But that's on that person, and you know from your perspective what was and what is. So
Yes.
one of these days you'll get rid of that bad feeling. So I have a couple of questions in closing. I want to ask you about life enhancing advice. What's one of the best advice that you've gotten so far in your journey that you still to date um, kind of manage your life by?
Well, because I'm always thinking about everybody else,
Mm,
I was told that put you first and then you can take care of everybody else. Fill your cup first and then you can help to pour into others. And
mhm.
I've started doing that and I think my life is way better now.
Awesome. And as Lisa Nichols say, when you're given to others, you don't give from your cup, you give from what is in the saucer. When I heard that, I thought, wow. I thought that
So
was so
the
profound.
saucer, okay.
So it's like you have let's say this is your cup and
The
this is the
saucer,
saucer. So when the cup full and it's flowing over,
you give from there.
whatever's in the saucer, that's what you'll be given from. But
I love that.
a lot of times, our cup is even quarter way and we trying to fill our cup and we giving from this. So we would never get it filled. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you should be selfish. It's not a selfish thing. It's a very deep concept. And you have to really, when you dig in and you understand what it's about, you will definitely get it. So I have this section that I refer to as, oh, I have to ask you this question because in honor of this month being the month for the healing journey, because I also have a Facebook group that is the same name, Real Beauty Talk. And I think it was last week, I did a blog about healing begins with you. And I thought it was really I got a lot of positive feedback from it. And along my journey, it helped me to realize how much healing the different aspects of my life has helped me to become the grounded person that I am. So the one question I would definitely want to ask you in honor of that, what is one gem that you could share from your healing journey to others?
Oh, the healing process is such a difficult thing because you discover so much and and you see the ugly truth. I would say learning to understand, not only understanding from your perspective, but being able to understand from others' perspective and listening is something that has helped me to heal because before I would not, I would, you're younger, you're you're thinking about self,
Mhm.
and when someone is trying to communicate, you don't listen, and you're thinking about the hurt that this person may have instilled on you, even if it's personal or business, whatever it is. Let's say somebody says something hurtful to you, you're thinking about what they said, but you're not also understanding why they said it. And I think
Yeah.
when you start understanding each other or understanding other people's perspective or the whys, you
Mm-hmm.
begin to learn more about yourself, and you
Yes.
start growing. You start flourishing, I believe.
Yes, yes. And I mean, I know the whole healing journey situation is because there's so many different aspects of yourself. That's a whole other conversation. So in closing, I have this section that I call first thoughts. So I'm gonna give you five phrases, or no, I don't have a sentence. And then you will respond using either one word or a phrase in return, but you can't repeat yourself twice.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is your makeup journey.
Exciting.
Family.
Home.
Love. Love is my favorite topic. Love.
Sacred.
Your legacy. Love. Love is my favorite topic. Oops. Love.
Um, is there another question? Can we come back to that one?
Oh, yes. Susan, in 5 years. In your makeup journey and your personal. When I say
Legendary.
personal, it's like, huh?
Legendary.
Yes. That's your makeup journey.
Yes.
And what about Susan in 5 years?
Let's say Zen.
Ah, I like that. So yeah, legacy.
Zen. um. Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't have an
That's the
answer
first
for
thing
that.
that comes to mind.
Kids, my kids.
Yes, and that's a great legacy to have, because at the end of the day, they are going to represent you for as long as they're on this planet. And
Absolutely.
I want to just share one more thing before we leave. When I talk, because it came up, we don't understand how important legacy is, because I was doing some research recently. And do you know the richest woman in the world? I don't remember her name offhand. Just yesterday, where I read about it. But her legacy came from makeup. She's worth 73 point somebody $billion.
I want that kind of legacy.
Her
Give me
father
that any day.
started L'Oreal in 1907. I think he created the first hair color in 1907, registered the business in 1909, and now it's 111 years later, and she's freaking worth 73 point somebody $billion.
I
And
like that.
L'Oreal has acquired over 500 companies. So, y'all, this beauty industry is not something to be toyed with. It's a serious business. And that's
I
why,
keep saying that.
yeah,
I've been saying that for a
yeah.
long time.
And if we as legendaries here don't make sure that people who coming up underneath here understand it, guess what? They can pull us all the way down here with them. Right? So, on that note, do you have anything that you would want to share or ask before I let you go? I am so sorry that I took up so much of your
Oh, that's
time.
nice.
I
So,
appreciate you sharing your most valuable assets with me. Stephen Thomas's great discussion, great for men and women. Stephen, I appreciate that comment. Thank you for being here. Denise said Mary Kay. Yeah, Mary Kay. Mary Kay has been around for such a long time. I have another friend on the feed who she has a beauty shop. She carries Mary Kay, Sonia. She's a beauty Mary Kay rep here.
nice.
Yes. So is there anything that you want to share with the audience, or anything that you want to ask me before I go?
Yeah,
From the
I
time that you go ahead.
I
Talk too
want to
much.
ask you,
Uh,
um, what's your legacy?
my legacy is exactly what I'm doing now. I'm creating a digital footprint that is going to be there long after I leave. I want to continue having great conversation, great inspiring conversations. My legacy is going to be in my books that I write, also in the work that I do, because I see myself as more than a makeup artist, because I help women to reconnect with their inner beauty. And as you know, there are a lot of women who look absolutely gorgeous when they walk through the door, and when they sit in your chair and you start talking to them, then you realize that they don't even see themselves the way how you see them.
That's
So
true.
for me, over the years, it's a thing that I've discovered. I'm constantly saying to women, guess what? All I could take credit for is enhancing. You are already
Exactly.
beautiful. I can't take credit for your beauty. So I believe that in a nutshell is my legacy.
I love it. Love it.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
I'm probably gonna bore it at some point in time.
Yeah, you can borrow it from all now,
I love
So
it.
because yeah, so
And over the years that you've been a makeup artist, like you said, 20 years, is it? 20 years.
I think more than 20, because when I was introduced to makeup, it was as a profession, it was in 1994 or 95. And
Okay.
prior to that, I was modeling, so I was doing my own makeup. But I honestly, not in my wildest dreams back then, did I ever imagine that I could have a career as a makeup artist, because, of course, there was no social media. In the 90s, there was no social media.
Right.
So yes, there were lots of magazines, and I was introduced to magazines and fashion books back in the days. So modeling was a thing. That's my thing. I was a hairstylist at the time.
Oh,
So
right. You did mention that indeed. What is your what do you feel would have been one of the greatest moments within the industry
from my experience, or
from
generally,
your experience?
from my experience, well, I think the one that jumps out at me right now is I got a call from a friend of mine who's a designer in New York. He says, "Oh, Paula, we're hosting Barbados Fashion Week, and I would love for you to come and be on the team. But do you mind?" His exact words were, "Do you mind working on the Valente Fraser? He's going to be the head makeup artist." So, like, who's Valente Fraser? He said, "Oh, he's Tara Banks' makeup artist." I was like, "Hell yes, I would even carry his kit." And when
Wow.
we got on the set the first day, because it was like a 3 day weekend. On the first day, I heard his voice says, "Oh my God, I love the way you do skin." So, and I look around to see who he was talking to, and it was me.
Wow. Love.
That was my most defining moment. Oh, and I have one more. I could share two, right?
Yes, of course.
The second one was when I met Sam Fine. So in 2007, I created this makeup DVD because I wanted to reach more women, and in terms of like teaching them, because of course, remember back then it was social media wasn't a thing. So fast forward to, I think it was about, I think 2009 or 2010. I still had a few knocking around. So when I was working for Revlon at the time, Sal Fine was here doing his thing, and he's now signing DVDs. So I play malicious, and I said, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to give him one of my DVDs as a gift." So in that moment, we exchanged DVDs, and you know what he said? As a matter of fact, he said to me, "Oh, I heard about you." Because one of my friends who I met her in Guyana, she was in the States doing some work in fashion, and she was there bragging about me. So he said he heard about me. He was like, he heard about me. And he signed his DVD from one pro to the next. I still have it.
Wow. You need to share that sometime on social
Yeah,
media.
I think I have at some point. I shared again recently. And that for me really inspired me to continue to like upgrade my skill set and fine tune beauty, because I know one of these days I want to work in the US, or want to work. As a matter of fact, I did work in the UK for a little bit.
Hmm.
And so I know what it's like to work out there. And my experience here, because of the woman, I am diverse because I could work from the lightest skin tone all the way down to the darkest and in between.
And that's something that I think that one of the things that I really wanted to conquer, learning the skin tones, and I think I'm almost there because It took a while, and that was the only thing that I was focused on over the years that I've been in makeup artistry. The tones, learning the different tones, on the tones, everything.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
I'm grateful for the women who trusted me to do their makeup, to and when they're done, they would message and say, Susan, you did a fantastic job, I love it. And those are little boosts that you get that
It
motivate
does.
you. So
Yeah.
whenever like I'm working with another makeup artist, or I see another makeup artist and I try to compliment them on the things that I think that they're doing great too, because I feel that the more positive energy you share out there, it comes right back to you. And when you
That
see
is so
something that's
true.
good, you share it. And I think that's exactly what happened to you. That person saw something positive, they saw talent, and they shared that information with you. They wanted you to know so that you can be the best version of yourself.
Yes, so it comes like, those when you have those encounters, it's like an encounter with your angel guide.
Yes,
Yeah,
great.
because a lot of times we don't know where we are in that moment. Because sometimes in your head, you're wondering if you're doing the right thing. Because at that time, I was totally obsessed with the idea that I had to go to school and I had to this and I had to that and blah, blah, blah. And in that moment when we had the conversation, he said to me, you don't need to go to any school. You're already gifted. All you need to do is hang on to find a good working makeup artist and assist them. That's what he said. But I mean, I'm very grateful that I invested in the master classes that I did, and
Same
because it
here.
really has helped to fine tune my skills. It really, really has helped. So that's why I would love to teach everybody. But guess what? You're gonna come and pay me $50. No, because it's not a game.
I know.
It's not a game. My first masterclass cost me in total maybe about $8,500, $8,500 for 2 days.
8,005. And this is with,
8,500 TT dollars. The person came to
oh,
Trinidad.
okay.
I did a masterclass with Denise Myricks, and hers was 3,500 TT dollars.
And I like her work. She is amazing. I follow her, and she's one of the persons that I really wanna do a class with, as well as Pat
Yeah,
McGrath. If I
right.
can meet Pat McGrath, like that would be I that's one of
Phenomenal.
my dream. It would I think I would put that I would take a picture and I would frame it and I would leave it there because that would be really cool. I love Pat McGrath.
Yeah.
She's like Kevin Aquan kind of her work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pat is amazing. So, and I haven't gotten my hands on her product as yet, but I see it looks amazing.
Her oh
So,
my god,
girl, we will definitely have to do this again at some point in the
definitely.
future. I really appreciate your time. Time is our most valuable asset. And for all the people who are out there and still on the live, Jody, the makeup artist, something said, Pat is the truth. So
Yes.
yeah, she is. So for all the people who are out there who have chosen to share your Wednesday afternoon with us, I appreciate you. Like I said, I'm not taking this for granted because I know time is our most valuable asset. You can get back $1,000, but you cannot get back time. So for me, this hour and change that I've spent with you is like time that is worth it. And the fact that this is going to be in the future, I'm even more grateful.
Yeah.
So I will say thanks again. I want to tell everybody on the outside to have a great evening. Remember to be kind to yourself. Have a great, amazing rest of the week too, because we're still lumping. And for the people who are still navigating this whole pandemic journey, y'all hang in there because one of these days it's going to get better. Seasons always change. It's going to be tough because trust me, it's kicked my ass a lot of times,
Yeah.
especially with not working and all that stuff. It really is very, very challenging, but hang tough, stay peaceful, stay centered. And Susan, do you want to say any closing words before
Well,
we
I can't
go?
see the comments or anything, but I just want to say thank you for thanks to everyone for tuning in. I mean, it's such an honor to be chatting with you, Paula. I've learned so much this evening, and I'm always open to learning, getting new information. I really love, getting to know what another makeup artist is thinking, to get into their head. And I've learned a lot this evening. So thank you for sharing your time and for having me on. And to
You're
everyone,
most welcome. You're
and to
most welcome.
everyone, thank you for joining in with us. I mean, it was a pleasure.
Thank you and congratulations again on your award. I remember what that felt like, but we'll talk about it another time because I've been there a couple years ago.
Yeah,
So, it's like
super
on top of the
exciting.
world. Then, yes, 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 yes. So, y'all, please remember to share. I'm not begging, I'm asking you to share this. And guess what? If you like what I'm doing, please join my Facebook group. You're welcome. It's a space that is going to be filled with positive energy. And don't forget, I am finally on YouTube, Paulla De Souza TV.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Susan, share your what is your Instagram handle?
At Susan.Saks.
And Susan with a S, Susan
Dot SAKS.
dot SAKS. So follow Susan, and I think your Saks as well on Facebook.
Yes, yes.
All
And
right,
Saks is the
great,
initial of my family, actually. The first initials
awesome.
of my family.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's cool. That's super cool. It reminds me of Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me, is it from Saks Fifth Avenue? I was like, no, no, no. It's the actual initials of my girls, my husband. Yeah.
Nice. So you see how you have something unique.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know we could stay here forever, but let's let
Yes.
it go.
So
So
have a
I
great
love
evening.
you. Thank you
Take
so much. I
care.
wish you love, blessings, and light. Please let's stay
Same to
stay in
you.
touch, okay?
All
All
right.
right then. Take
Take
care.
care. Bye
Have a
bye.
great evening, everybody.